Welcome, friends, to the Gaijin Animation Appreciation Hour with your hosts, Sig Bisley and Colt Mauser. Before we get started, please be sure to like this video and subscribe for more content just like this. Now, let the animation appreciation commence.
Monday again. No, I'm just kidding. It's Friday. Short week, though. Total brutal.
Feels like a fucking Monday.
I know. That's what I mean.
It ain't a
It's
Monday.
a short week, but a savage week. We started GENOCYBER, and it was way fucking longer than I remember it. And the first episode is basically a movie. So we're going to do the first episode of that this week. We got whatever the hell I watched this week. Question of the week. But before any of that, as usual, the news.
The usual shit. All right. First up, we got some news about Lupin 3rd, Part 1, baby. Getting a remaster.
Freaking old school.
And a Blu-ray release.
Oh, that'll look hot on Blu-ray if they do it right.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's favorite is really Part 2, but hey, Part 1's the original, goddammit.
We were watching some Part 1 a while ago, and it was super wacky.
It's super wacky. But yeah, it's getting a release. You know, pick it up if you want to send the right signal to do some more. I'll pick it up. You know, it's not
I kind of want all of them just for the sake of having all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up because I mean, it's Lupin 3rd, goddammit, and I want to support it. It's gonna have a new dub. You know, I don't. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Lupin's had some pretty decent dubs in the past, so
yeah, I was gonna say like
it's not the worst thing ever. But
I think the Castle Cagliostro one is really good, if I recall.
yeah, Castle Cagliostro has a couple dubs. I don't know that I've actually listened to them both.
It got like the Miyazaki treatment, like real people did it.
The
You know
one
what
with
I mean?
Solid Snake is
that was the
as
one,
Lupin
yeah.
is my favorite still. But
Actually, there's 2 dubs for that one.
there is.
There?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Sorry,
Not even listening to
I
me.
was busy yapping.
Jesus Christ. Too busy thinking about something. All right. So that's coming out. Check it out. You know how much we, jerk off Lupin the 3rd.
Yeah, 20.
Maybe not literally. Maybe get that image out of your head. So, yeah. Go buy it. Show them some love. Love to see some more old shit remastered regardless, and especially good old shit.
It looks so
like Lupin.
good when they're done.
All right, so moving on for wacky old things that are getting re-released. The classic Ancient Godzilla animated series
Oh my god.
is getting a bit of a re-release, and it's going to be available for free on the YouTube channel.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So Toho's going to put at least the second season up, which apparently was never released over here, on the YouTube channel. It is, if you've ever seen any clips from it, it is really goddamn strange.
Yeah, it's bizarro.
There's like a Kid Godzilla, but he doesn't look anything like the other Kid Godzillas.
Yeah.
Godzilla's design looks not very Godzilla-y. You got to check it out. It is
Yeah, I mean, if it's for
wacky.
free, I would definitely pop on a couple episodes just for the lulz.
Oh, yeah. So that is going to be available, like I said, on probably, I would assume, on Toho's main website. I'm sure if you Google, if you search on YouTube, you'll be able to find it. I would definitely check it out just for the lulz. If nothing else, picture I'm looking at right now is ridiculous with Godzilla. Like, I don't know, he's holding up a ship like he's admiring it. It's just
Good stuff.
very strange, but yeah, something to watch. All right, moving on. More stuff, and this actually goes towards a topic we're going to talk about later in the question of the week. Star Wars Visions getting a Volume 2 second season, whatever you want to call it, coming out next spring.
I'm stoked.
I
That
don't
was like probably the best Star Wars thing that's come out in years.
It's probably the only good Star Wars thing to come out in years.
Some of those shorts, man, they should do series of. Like, I'm sure we talked about that when
Well, it just
we reviewed
showed
it.
showed the power of treating Star Wars like Gundam.
Yep.
And they should have just done that.
You could do completely unrelated things in the spirit of
Yeah,
you
with
know,
the same
franchise.
style, the same aesthetic, but different stories, not necessarily the same universe. And with Star Wars, you just hand wave it all.
Yeah,
Like,
basically.
you just have it take place somewhere else in the galaxy. Like, it's not a problem.
It's a whole galaxy.
Or a different galaxy. Like, it's fine. But that was never really that well defined in main Star Wars anyway.
Nope, not at all. Maybe it's other books or something, but you know.
So we'll see. I don't. There's creators from a lot of places, and they aren't all Japan. So I don't know that this one will be as good as the last one.
Yeah, probably not. Once they get their filthy mitts all over it.
Not that other creators are bad. It's got South Korea, which has been putting out some pretty tight stuff lately.
Yeah.
India, which if Star Wars goes Bollywood, I don't know how I'm gonna handle that. It'd be kind of
interesting. Actually sounds really interesting. Just keep it away from the filthy Americans.
But then you got like the UK, Ireland, France. Like I'm a little worried. And specifically California. That worries me. So we'll see.
Most of the rest of the world hates our awful garbage, so they'll probably be okay. Except for the one from California. That'll suck.
Yeah. So this one isn't going to be strictly anime this time, but hey, we'll see what comes out. It'll be interesting at least. I always love a good anthology.
Yeah,
hey, if some of it's
exactly.
garbage, then hey, you call it out for the garbage that it is.
Yeah, we always go on and on about how fun shorts are. So
if they stay as hands off as they did with the first one, it might be all right.
I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. Next up, we got some trailer release and news for the Spriggan anime, the new Spriggan anime.
Oh, I'm stoked on that. It looks awesome.
Is that one a sequel or a?
I believe it's a sequel.
I think it's a sequel, right? I remember there was a couple things they were doing, and I couldn't remember. One was a remake, and one was a sequel. It's going to be 6 episodes, but they're long episodes. They're like OVA 40, 45-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Looks like Netflix is involved, so smart on them to start buying anime and funding anime instead of trying to make their own. Although some of their own animation
I didn't know it was
good.
A sequel, and I watched the first teaser. I'm like, why the fuck does this look everything exactly the same as the first one? But it's just like it's a continuation of the first one.
Yeah. So 6 episodes, long episodes. Like I said, it's going to be on Netflix on June 18th, apparently. So happy birthday
excited.
to me.
That's very soon. Yeah, happy birthday to you.
Right. When that comes out. And
I had COVID on my birthday.
Yeah, lucky you. So there's it's up on YouTube, so go check it out. Spriggan, they have a new trailer up. There was a teaser before, but now there's a longer trailer. You got the 6-episode format. There's some theme songs and other stuff. You can go check that out.
I love a good theme song.
Nothing groundbreaking, but just I like when it puts it back on your radar that this is coming out and it's gonna be damn good.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I forgot it was coming out.
I did too until I saw
soon.
this. So, and it's coming out pretty soon. So.
Well, most things come out.
Get hyped.
Magical 2023.
Now's your opportunity to rewatch the original, and that's probably something we'll have to do here.
Yeah,
soon.
it's a good idea. The original's pretty dope.
Once we get through GENOCYBER.
Oh yeah, maybe after GENOCYBER we'll do that because I haven't seen it in 15 years anyway.
Oh, it's been a while for sure.
What was it? The U.S. Machine Corps. The guy with the fucking minigun as an arm and shit.
Oh hell yeah!
It's got some wild
Spriggan's got
stuff.
some wacky shit going on, man. It's pretty cool. All right, moving on. We got some video game news. So there is a new trailer out for Sonic Frontiers. I don't know how hyped people are on Sonic lately.
Make that money.
Will it be any good? Who knows? Sonic games have a troubled history
Yeah.
of being both good and terrible. I honestly don't know. And a lot of the 3D ones people don't like, but a lot of the 2D ones had some issues too. And I liked Sonic. I think it was Sonic Adventure, whatever the one that came out on the Dreamcast was, or the first one that came out on the Dreamcast. It was a good game. It was fun back in the day. So keep an open mind. But that one's also coming out here towards the end of June 23rd. It's coming out for every damn console in existence and the PC. So you'll be able to get a hold of it. But there's a teaser up. Go check it out on the YouTube. A lot of stuff. You got a lot of homework to do. Go on YouTube and look all these things up and check them out. Occupy some of your time. Disappear down a rabbit hole. But yeah, new game. I wasn't even aware there was a new game coming out. So again,
I heard about it a while ago, but it was so long ago I forgot.
Yeah. Hey, if it's good, I'll pick it up. Why not? If I can ever pull myself out of the Dark Souls Elden Ring hole I've dragged myself into.
It's true. I haven't played a Sonic game in forever.
Yeah, the last one I played was on Switch. It was oh shoot, what the hell is that game called? It's basically like Sonic Greatest Hits. It's 2D. Jesus, it's so bad I cannot remember the name of it, but it was a while ago, a couple years ago. Good ass game. That one on the Switch that's 2D, very good. So check that one out. All right, so little more video game news. This is kind of interesting news. This is some Japanese video game rankings for May. And I always like to see what Japan's buying versus what the U.S. buys because it's very freaking different. So, top game, Nintendo Switch Sports. Unsurprising.
Yeah.
Right? You
that
figured
shit.
that would be the thing. You got a Koei Tecmo slasher, Taiko Rishiden VDX.
Whoa.
Which,
Sounds intense.
man, if you wonder why Koei keeps making those same goddamn games and reskinning them over and over, it's because they fucking sell like hotcakes and they cost very little to make. Until people stop buying them, they ain't going to stop making them.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Third up is Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which, I mean, considering that came out back in March, that's pretty damn good. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which came out in 2017, is back in the top 5.
That's crazy.
You see a trend here. A lot of Switch going on. And then their baseball game, a Konami baseball game. E-Baseball Powerful Pro Yakyu 2022.
Whoa. That's intense.
All right. Minecraft is 6, which is interesting. Ring Fit Adventure. I mean, that makes sense since, if you're going to buy Switch Sports, you get some Ring Fit, Go on. Smash Brothers Ultimate's still up there. I mean, good God. How are these things still in the top 10, right?
They can't stop.
Some game called Snow Brothers Nick and Tom Special. No idea. And rounding out the top 10, Mario Party Superstars. Yeah. I mean, it came out a while ago, but all right.
Enough.
Then you got Breath of the Wild. You got Animal Crossing. I mean, it's Splatoon 2. It's all Switch stuff, people.
Yeah,
it's almost all Switch stuff. Like Monster Hunter is one of the only things on this top 20 that isn't. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, like I said, I think it's always interesting to take a look at what Japan's buying video game wise because it is not necessarily what you would expect unless you have a little knowledge of the Japanese market, and it certainly does not look anything like what the hell we buy in the West.
No, not at all.
I mean, the occasional game will be, right? Like Kirby and the Forgotten Land was, it was up there everywhere, right? Like that game's gonna be big, but like Nintendo Switch Sports, it's up there. Ring Fit Adventure, Smash Brothers Ultimate, like I don't think those are the top 10 in Western sales.
Nah,
we're littered with Maddens and Call of Duties and other such garbage. Anyway, moving on from that little tidbit of video game wackiness. SD Gundam Battle Alliance game.
Hilarious. Those are always fun.
Coming to you August 25th on looks like pretty much all the consoles once again and the PC. So you're gonna have it everywhere. It's if you haven't played an SD Gundam game, they're pretty damn fun. They're kind of like Super Robot Wars, but they got some different mechanics, and they're just Gundams. They all take place in different cross Gundam universes, right? There's some that are original that have things like that crazy Musha Gundam and other stuff, and then there's like, the last one I played was pretty much all UC. Was it? I think it was only UC stuff, and I mean, good God, it had every fucking 1 Year War UC side story you could think of. Like Fairy Fencer F was in there for fuck's sake. Like it had everything. Like Blue Destiny, like whatever you could think of, it was in there. And it went up through, I think Unicorn. I think there was some Unicorn stuff in there. It certainly went through Char's Counterattack. It did not get up to Hathaway, if I recall. And then there was one that came out after that, and it was a lot of the other Gundam series. It was things like Wing and IBO and Seed and
non-UC,
00 non-UC stuff, and then this one looks like you're gonna get a mix, all kinds of different universes. They're all fun. If you don't like the series in it, I'd say just grab one of the older ones and pick it up. With the series you like in it, because you're gonna want to like the series because they're, a lot of times they go through and reenact like certain battles from the series and stuff.
It's super cool.
But yeah, they're fun games. New one coming out. Always excited to see that. So August 25th, SD Gundam Battle Alliance. Go pick it up if you're interested. I probably will. I like to play games like this over the holidays when like I really just want to turn my brain off mostly.
Yeah, where you just want to like flop down on the couch and stare at something all day.
Hell yeah. And plus, then it's the only time when you have like the time to really play them because
like you could just devote
time.
Hours and hours.
Yeah. All right, so continuing on in a Gundam news kind of way, we got the World Expo in Osaka in 2025 will have a Gundam Pavilion.
That's awesome.
That's pretty damn cool.
Do they still have World Expos? That's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's not like the World's Fair. I don't know exactly, who runs the World Expo, and
I thought the entire world was a World Expo now.
Yeah, I don't know if they're garbage or not. I don't know if they're just going to be like beating you over the head with the message. I don't know if they're going to like
probably not
hustle you for carbon credits. Like I don't know what the hell they do with them now.
Not
but
Japan.
I'm interested to see it, and I'm almost tempted to like. If it's going to be that cool, like maybe, I've always wanted to go to Japan. You'd plan the trip around it. It's got a few years, so.
Yeah, it's true.
It'd be a cool thing to see, perhaps.
Who knows what'll happen by then?
Who the fuck knows? We'll be in pandemic number 14 by then, I'm sure.
Nah, man, Mad Max.
Oh, could be that, too. Hey, it's the Mad Max theme park. No, it's just Mad Max. That's just everywhere now.
It's just my backyard. Wah, wah, wah.
Anyway, the World Expo. 2025 in Osaka. If you're anywhere in that area, go check it out.
Get your tickets.
Plenty of time, yeah. I doubt they're selling this far in advance, although with Japan, you never know. All right, moving on. So this is some more kind of interesting cultural news. This is the last story I got for today. So 7 Seas Entertainment is apparently dealing with their workers trying to unionize.
Ain't that a bitch?
They're fighting it, right? And
everything I've ever heard about 7 Seas is their shit companies.
I find it interesting, right? Like, I got a couple thoughts on this. One, yeah, I don't know that 7 Seas is the greatest company in the world.
They do a ton of censoring of stuff, too.
It's not good. 2, it only has like 40-ish staff members.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, right?
What the heck you need a union for? We're only 40 of you. I mean, I get it, but modern labor laws have kind of made the purpose of unions not obsolete, but they've certainly made them shift. Right?
Yeah.
And I think collective bargaining is important, but I do think unions get very corrupt and political and, actually actively work against their own union members' best interests to satisfy the best interests of those in charge of the union.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you know what I
listen,
mean?
we all know a lot of union guys, and they all bitch about the same things.
Very corrupt. So...
But you don't want to work for fucking Amazon either. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I always have a split opinion on unions.
Yeah, I mean, I have no particular.
Collective bargaining, I think, is almost universally a good thing. But unions that are kind of established entities that engage in collective bargaining, there's a lot of corruption. But anyway, 7 Seas is fighting it. So they're not trying to form their own union. They're trying to recognize the Communication Workers of America, existing union.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
To represent them. Now, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Like you said, there's always scuttlebutt about stuff going on at 7 Seas. I don't know what's going on there that caused them to want to unionize. I don't know if it's low wages. I don't know if it's they're getting mistreated. Who knows, right? Like, so there's probably more to it than
there's
that.
There's like a wave of unionizing going on.
There's a lot. It seems to be like the thing to do, but I do think a lot of it is just a lot of places got rid of unions because they kind of poisoned the well.
Yeah, they definitely
they collective bargain wages so high in some cases that the jobs all got offshore.
Oh, the fucking auto workers that were like
really
guys were making like $100 an hour to put in 2 screws
while they're babysitting a robot. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Not all #not all auto workers. Calm down.
It slingshots back and forth. Like
it does.
We're back to the point where we need more unions because of shit companies like Amazon and fucking. Starbucks, blah, 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 like that. But then they, like everything else, they immediately get corrupt and,
But this will be an interesting thing to watch, especially since it's such a small company. Like, it's fascinating to me. Like, how's this going to do? I mean, it has the potential to completely decimate the company. If the people all decide, well, screw this, we're just going to leave. Like,
who knows?
We're going to find another 32 people to hire, especially in this job market where it's a very worker-friendly job market, and a lot of people aren't looking for jobs either, which makes it a worker-friendly job market because the supply is low, right? So it could cost them dearly, but we'll see. We'll see. I used to love 7 Seas because they used to put out a lot of good stuff, but like you said, they've engaged in far too much censorship lately. So
yeah, I mean, back in the day, they were pretty good, but
I'm talking
the last few
mid-2000s,
years, It is what it is, man.
Yeah, stop censoring shit. There's already enough lost in translation without having to
Yeah,
alter
right.
it further. Anyway.
Leave them titties alone.
Yeah. Especially when it's in a book. What the hell, man? Anyway, that's the news.
Now it's time for Blacka Rocka Shooter.
Is that what we're catching up on first? All right.
Might as well.
Let's talk about it.
So the rando chick that they've been there's the army guy, Empress, all her like rando Hemethios. They call Hemethios.
Sure.
Like units, the fucking lolly robots.
I already know exactly how they act by the archetypes.
Yeah, right. So true. But anyway, they picked up this rando girl, and she was kind of like lusting over Empress at first, but I thought that was just a Japanese thing. But it turns out she actually is a lesbian because they like run into her ex-girlfriend.
That still could be a Japanese thing.
Well, yeah, but she's an actual.
Yuri was far more popular in Japan than any
Oh yeah, it's Yuri as fuck.
lesbian media even today is in the West.
It's very true. But anyway, so there's like the whole episode is like about how like the girl she was living with like ingested a little bit of the nanites and it like slowly kills you. So she thought she was going to die, so she just bounced to go do whatever.
Die in the woods.
Yeah, but she didn't die, and then they run into her again when they have to in order to get to the fucking moon it's like
Jupiter.
No, they're basically what the hell orbital elevator or whatever.
Okay.
They're basically attaching the Earth to the moon with like a orbital elevator.
That seems dangerous.
Well, the rest of the nanite assholes want to come down from the fucking moon and shit everything up again. But anyway, they have to get to the base of this thing so they can fuck it up so that doesn't happen. But they have to go over the sea of like nanite shit. And they'd like treat the bottom of a boat with nanites so it like tricks them and all this shit. But the like person that's like taking them over in the boat is that girl. And there's a lot of backstory and blah, blah, blah.
This is going to have a Grey Goo ending. I can see it already.
Oh, yeah. But they're basically ramping up to like, the end.
And no, you freaks. That's not a hentai reference.
Ew. Tentacle goo. Anyways, that. Love After World Domination is still hilarious. I believe the last episode was... dating rival. Like, there's this... Like, of course everybody goes to school for no reason. Like, they have jobs. One's a supervillain.
But
one's
you
in
gotta,
a Sentai team.
But, I mean, you got to have a school aspect to it. I mean, come on.
They have to go to school for some reason. So, there's a girl in...
Plot demands it, sir.
The female leads cast. God, I can't remember her name. Anyway, main character, female. Another chick in her class that's like giving her shit all the time. And she basically finds out that like her and the guy are dating, the Sentai guy are dating.
Yep.
And she like tries to extort him. And he thinks it's because it likes her. He thinks it's because she likes her. But that turns out she likes his girlfriend. And he's not mad. He thinks it's great because they have like the best taste ever. Anyway, it's comical.
Okay. Comedy, love shenanigans, and more Yuri.
That's why I never describe episodes of this show because it's just like a lot of convoluted like relationship stuff. So just watch it. It's
Fair
way
enough.
easier than listening to my garbage, like,
Explanation thereof.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Like, who gives a shit? Just watch it.
When you're trying to watch 5 things in a freaking season, yeah.
More than 5.
You can't remember everything.
At any rate. I still haven't caught up on AIM because Crunchyroll's being a dick, but I'll do it this week. Shield Hero.
We watched Shield Hero.
Very good.
Yep.
Like, it's back on track. I like every episode slightly more than the last episode.
Yeah, it's really making you want to murder
that fucking
the
guy.
villager.
What were we talking about, a week or two ago, we were talking about, just unrepentant shit villains. And this guy's, the king of that. Such a
he's up
fucking
there.
asshole.
He's the kind of villain where, if I was now Fumi, I would be like, I don't think you understand. I'm going to do something to you that it's going to be biblical up in here. It's not going to end well for you. I'm not going to have mercy. There's not going to be any redemption for you. There's going to be pieces of you, very tiny ones, strewn all over the place, displayed so other people don't make the same mistake you did.
Yes. He was gonna go scorched earth. He was gonna go scorched earth on that one guy that had Philo.
Yeah,
when they finally found her.
That guy was also a total asshole. Japan's very good at making villains just so awful that they just have to die. Like the worst pieces of shit.
It's very satisfying though. I much prefer that. Like I like
It's classic heel babyface stuff, man.
Like I like when Gundam's very good at it. You know, when they do the just like, here's the villain's backstory. This is why he's doing that. And you can kind of feel a little bit of sympathy. But,
unless it's Giran.
Unless it's Giran. Yeah, but I mean, they give you his backstory. And
or Bascom.
He's like complete piece of shit.
They always have at least one who's like the worst. But you are right. They do have a lot of okay, you can kind of understand why they're the way they are.
Yeah, and it's that kind of show. But I only like that in that kind of show. I don't want it every fucking time, which is like
and they don't necessarily make you
want
to like them or truly be sympathetic. It's more just to explain why and how they are the way they are.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. But at any rate.
Well, in Gundam, a lot of times there are no real bad guys either, so that's a whole other thing.
Especially in like a fantasy show. Like I don't want
you want a villain.
Yeah,
you want a Sauron,
fucking
right?
awful villain.
Sauron isn't much of a villain. It's more the ring that's a villain. Whatever. We won't get into that.
Well, I mean, Sauron made the ring. Then
it's the influence of Sauron on you know what I mean.
Oh, I know
that
very
thing.
well.
That thing gets to exist without a proper antagonist, and it's kind of amazing how that even works, but it does.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, to basically invent a genre, but then have it like not. Nobody really copied that aspect of it. It's kind of
Tolkien was a world-building English major, or linguist, not so much a storyteller, although he did a good job there. Except for Tom Bombadil. We won't talk about him.
Tom Bombadil seemed like just a character he loved.
Yeah, I get why, but it doesn't. That's one thing, God, that would have never worked.
No.
In the animated version. Or
absolutely.
In the live action version.
Yeah, that had to get hacked.
So Shield Hero, yeah, it's going in a good direction.
It's back to the basics of what made it good, like I said last week.
Yep. They kind of reset it a bit. They had to bring Naofumi to a new world so everybody would hate him again. They are kind of retreading. They're kind of just they're taking the easy way out on that one a bit. Like they're kind of just doing it again. But the plot's different enough, and as with like every shonen anime ever, like the execution is more important than the fact that it's a retread. So
listen, he clearly can't write anything but that.
It's fun
since he tried.
Yeah,
that a fucking disaster.
Arc. Not a fan. So we'll see where it goes, but I liked it. I liked that episode a lot. I like where the season's gone. It's certainly a lot better than it first started.
True that.
What else? Executioner and A Way of Life?
I haven't caught up on that yet. That's ramping up, though. That should be like this week.
You already finished 86.
Oh, man, 86 was so good. I want to watch it again. I haven't watched a series that got you as emotionally involved as 86 does in a long, long time. They really drag you along for the ride.
Good. I mean, that's what made me like something like Razafon so much. You know what
I
mean?
No, it's very much like that. You really get into the characters. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, and we still haven't caught up on Legend of Galactic Heroes because there were so many fucking episodes. It was just,
For some reason, they crap out several episodes at a time. I don't know why.
Well, it's because it's already
Movies,
done because they do the movies and then they just cut them up. I don't know why the release schedule is what it is, but they can do it. So, I mean, I'm not complaining about it. It's just, still behind.
Am's what it ams. Fuck it. Question of the week.
All right.
So, I knew that I saw the announcement for that second season of Star Wars Visions the other day.
Yep.
And it got me thinking about Western stuff that gets the anime treatment or the manga treatment. So, give me a few. You probably haven't. I know we haven't seen a ton of them. So, give me a couple that you've actually seen and if they were good or bad compared to their Western counterpart. And give me a few franchises that could use a little anime action.
All right. So, the first one I'm going to pull up here, because I'd forgotten about this one. And I'm not saying it's the best, but I do appreciate the power suit design. Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
The oft-forgotten Starship Troopers, which actually has the powered suits from the original. Now,
and it's awesomely violent.
It's got that late 80s ultra violence going on, right?
Yeah, it really does.
It does have a lot of
which
vagina
it should,
monsters, but
because
everything was a vagina monster back then.
Yes. I can't get enough vagina.
Yeah,
monsters.
that one's a cool one. I remember seeing it God, I think they showed it at Otakon. God, way back in the day, back in the mid-aughts. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Track it down somewhere. It's not easy to find. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Paul Verhoeven movie. The Paul Verhoeven movie has nothing really to do with Starship Troopers.
Yeah, it's one of those,
except the characters.
It's one of those like rare occasions where they take a movie, they do something completely different with it from the source material, but it's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Usually nowadays they wander from the source material. It's just like a fucking disaster. Okay, I'm gonna bust out the weirdest one I could dig up right off the bat. Tokusatsu Spiderman.
Oh, hell yeah.
So fucking hilarious.
Not anime, but Japanese as hell. He's got a goddamn mecha. It's basically a Sentai show, but with Spider-Man.
So good.
His suit design's kind of weird, because doesn't he have, like, tiny eyes?
He's got tiny eyes, and, like, you could see his nose sticking out of the mask. And it's, like, kind of loose-fitting. And, like, it's clearly, like, a skinny Japanese guy.
Very
like,
cheesy.
And he's got mad machine guns all the time for no reason.
Man, you gotta pull out the jammy when you're Spider-Man.
God, it's so amazing. At any rate, good one.
Let me think. Simba the White Lion, that adaptation of the Lion King. Oh, wait, no, that was Disney stealing stuff from Japan.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Like a lot of stuff Disney stole from Japan. Sorry, I'll move on from there.
Yeah, let's talk about something
else. So one I didn't watch, which I really should have, and I don't know why I never watched the damn thing, is the goddamn Supernatural anime.
That was on my list too, yeah. Apparently, like, it's the first 2 seasons of the show.
Yep.
The
in
live action
form.
Adapted for like the first half of the season, and then the second half of the season is just brand new for the anime.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of people say it's really good. I have yet to watch it, which is shameful because I knew it existed. I just never got around to it.
And speaking of that, I'll throw out a couple more recent ones that are right now, which were kind of purposely, they're less adaptations, more spin-offs, but Altered Carbon, resleeved.
Yep.
And Blade Runner.
Yep.
Obviously. Blackout 2022. Those were both.
Pacific Rim. It's a new one.
Yeah, Pacific Rim one. So, I mean, there are ones out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Newer ones. Just throwing them out there because they're kind of new and you may want to go check them out. I don't know if they're any good. I do remember
I watched
the shorts. I didn't watch the series or whatever, but I did watch the shorts for Blade Runner.
Yes, so did I. And they were pretty damn good, actually.
The anime one they did for that was good. What's his name did it? Was it Watanabe?
I think it might.
I think it was. Yeah. I think it might have been.
I think it might have been one of them at least.
One of them, yeah. Because that one had some live action one and some.
Yeah.
Some anime ones. It was really cool.
Here's one from kind of a long time ago, but it seems new to me for some reason. I remember watching it way back in the day. The Animatrix.
Yep. Oh yeah, the Animatrix is a big
Pretty
one.
good one.
It was very good. In the same vein. And it's got that cool, like, it's shorts and it's got the...
Yeah, and, like, a bunch of different directions
Robot
to it,
Carnival kind of
which
thing.
I fucking love.
I love that, yeah. I mean, I haven't watched it forever, but it is cool. Definitely check it out. Certainly have a lot better than that horrible movie they just released. And honestly, better than any of the anime... And honestly, The Matrix is The Matrix and Animatrix. That's it. Just those two, and that's it. You're good. Fuck everything else. Sorry if you like the second one. I kind of did too, but it only works if the third one's good. And the third one wasn't, so it doesn't work. In that same vein, what people forget about is the Riddick one they did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was not on my list. Good call.
Not Dark Fate. I don't remember what it's called. There's a Chronicles of Riddick anime they did. It's I want to say it's movie length, but it's more like an OVA. I want to say it's like a little over an hour. It serves as a prequel, I believe, to Chronicles of Riddick, which I like that movie, even though it's cheesy as all hell. The other Riddick movies are obviously better, like
it's
Pitch
fun
Black
to watch.
and the new one.
Like, I don't hate it.
Regardless,
it's kind of one of those classics that's like so corny. It's just kind of fun.
The animated one was really cool, and it's kind of forgotten. So I would definitely say track that sucker down.
I kind of want to watch it now that you mention it.
I have it on DVD somewhere.
Yeah, I know. I remember watching it back in the day.
Might be streaming somewhere too. Well, I don't know. I say that all the time, and nothing's ever streaming anywhere. But it could certainly be found, so we'll have to check it out.
Here's an oldie that probably no one has heard of. Like, back right before they released The Phantom Menace,
yep.
They, like, George Lucas had, like, 4 different manga artists do the original 3 movies.
Oh, the manga.
Form.
I have actually heard of that.
Yeah.
I've not seen it. I've never
read
read
it. The
it.
art's really cool. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. I mean,
But,
if you're on manga, you can throw in obviously the Lovecraft ones we talk about all the time.
oh my god, those
that they're
are super
doing.
good, yeah.
Those are very good. Over here, you can get At the Mountains of Madness in 2 volumes, and The Hound and others. I think it's the other one's got 3 short stories, I believe.
Oh, while we're still on manga, Shadows of Spawn.
Yeah. Well, Kiyoshimiya Batman.
No, that's one too.
You know, you can throw that out there. And there's, Batman Gotham Knight is a very,
Yep.
it's a very anime Batman.
Shadows of Spawn had basically nothing to do with Spawn. Yeah. It was like a Japanese street thug.
And if you're on,
had Spawn powers.
If you're on comics, you can't forget Witchblade.
Yep, I was getting to that one. It was a good one.
Can't forget Witchblade. So that was a lot of people really like that. I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with the original. It's like it's a complete readaptation, right? Like it's not like in universe or anything.
I mean, while we're on Batman Ninja, kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Let's move on to something a little better. How about Gankutsuo?
Oh yeah,
The Count of Monte Cristo.
I like when they do like old stories.
Now
I don't like when they destroy them, but
and this one they didn't. I don't know that it will ever. Gankutsuo could ever be as good as that movie because I love that 2002 or 2003 Jim Caviezel movie.
It's essentially perfect.
It's freaking amazing.
Like
Yakupo #1.
They cut out a lot of the like crazy market manipulation shit that's kind of boring when you read it. And just like did all the like classic good stuff.
They made it into an adventure story. It's great instead of a character study.
Yeah, because the book was very like it wasn't stale, but it was a thick read.
Dumas needed an editor or a better one if you had one.
Yeah, he did.
Not as bad as Dickens, but whatever. We won't get into that.
Dickens.
But Gankutsuo, it looks really cool too. It's got a
it had
crazy
a really
style.
wild style, like for back in the day.
One of the first times I remember too seeing that kind of like digital cloth effect, where like there'd be cloth patterns that were kind of like digitally inserted and would not move, not be static, like they'd be moving kind of inside.
Yeah, it was like super trippy.
It's something you actually see a lot more now used, and it was
definitely
the first thing I remember
was
them.
Yeah.
It's got a trippy style in general. It's pretty cool. I would definitely say check it out. Matter of fact, I only ever bought the first volume. I gotta go back and watch the whole thing.
Was it kind of
I watched part of it.
Crazy because it was like on a different planet.
Oh yeah, it's like in the future. He looks like freaking Dantes looks like a goddamn vampire. Like
it's crazy.
Like he looks like freaking Symphony of the Night Dracula, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he definitely does.
With an awesome top hat.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one.
Powerpuff Girl Z.
Yep. Can't forget Powerpuff Girl Z.
That was a funny one.
I've heard a lot of good things about that.
I've seen a few episodes I didn't like get.
It's got to be better than anything Powerpuff Girls related, except for the original, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's done in very classic anime style too. It's like not Powerpuff Girls style.
Yeah.
With the like, well, I mean they have big eyes, but in an anime kind of way. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's everything going full circle, right? Powerpuff Girls looking very anime, and then the anime doing a version of them.
Exactly.
What else? Do you have any more?
Oh, I got a couple more.
All
Highlander, right. Search for Vengeance.
I was about to say Highlander because that is crazy. That's a strange
one.
one. And that's one that I wasn't, I didn't even know it existed. So, hey, it's Highlander related, which means it's going to be simultaneously great and terrible.
Here's probably the weirdest one I dug up. Mutant Turtles Superman Legend. It's like a weird Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like knockoff thing.
Huh.
You got to look it up because like the designs are so wild.
That sounds like some...
They have like these instead of like their headbands are actually like
that sounds like some shit like Thailand would release.
Yeah, like
anime.
funny Mazinger Z helmets, and it's so wild.
Oh, a manga one,
but they look like ninjas.
That I don't want to lose is Junji Ito's adaptation of Frankenstein.
That's an excellent one too.
That's a good one. I have that one. I got to reread it.
In the vein of Frankenstein, I have my final one.
All right,
you've seen it, Dracula, Sovereign of the Damned.
Oh my God!
Eating that fucking hamburger.
Dracula eating that goddamn hamburger. Yeah, you're not wrong. Go look that one up.
That one's like probably one of the worst animated films ever made.
Yeah, I did like that guy. I wonder if he still does panels nowadays. The bad anime bad guy.
God.
He did some good shit back in the day, man. He'd show you all the worst shit you've never wanted
and
to
all
see.
the like Taiwanese knockoffs and shit.
That's what I was thinking of when you're talking about that Ninja Turtles one. Like,
Yeah, that's
all
what
I
it
can
looks
think of
like.
is
I think
that
it's
shit.
Japanese, but like it looks pretty fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
like one of those Taiwanese or Thai or whatever, like Southeast Asian knockoffs.
Yep. Oh, Spider-Man J too. It was just like chibi Spider-Man.
I don't know anything about that. I mean, there's the Marvel ones too. I mean, there was that Wolverine show they did.
X-Men Misfits.
X-Men. I mean, there's a lot. You know, it's out there. So
Marvel Mangaverse, which sucked, but
yeah. Although it sold a hell of a lot better than Marvel Comics over here was selling.
of course it would.
Like that Deadpool they released over there.
Yeah, right.
Not surprising.
Man, Deadpool crushes everywhere.
Well, yeah. Also true. And there's plenty of like classic stories that have been adapted like 20 times, right? Like classic, Hans Christian Andersen stuff, like
Oh yeah, definitely.
that you're gonna find. But I think,
we were just talking about that new Moby Dick one they're doing.
yep, yeah, that looks interesting. That looks really interesting.
They don't come over here, but like they do like all the classics in manga form, pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Like they
Oh,
don't
absolutely.
get translated or whatever, but I know they exist.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. I mean it's one of their, it's one of their primary forms of entertainment, right? And
Yeah.
they value comics more than we do.
I have a ton of old like Edgar Allan Poe stories in comic book form.
Yeah.
America used to do
We
that.
used to do it.
back before we
Well, that's probably when I got
sucked.
the damn idea.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, I mean, we were doing it first way back in the day, but yeah, we just don't do it anymore. Like, I don't know. I like pictures too, man. What's wrong? What's wrong with some pictures?
Yeah, right. Give artists something to do.
Yeah, give our artists got to eat too. Unless they're working for Marvel and DC, because apparently they don't have to eat anymore because they don't get paid a goddamn thing.
They get paid way less than I do, which is so sad.
Yeah.
At any rate.
All right. Well, that's a good trip down adaptation lane.
Oh, before we're done, forgot the last part of the question. Anything you'd like to see done in anime or manga form? They're doing that like Mandalorian one. That's probably cool.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Star Wars, because they could just treat it like Gundam. If they were allowed to do it independently, I'd love to see an entire Star Wars series that Japan did, because it would be way better than anything we're coming out with.
Yeah, they're doing that fucking awesome looking Lord of the Rings.
That Lord of the Rings one looks pretty goddamn hot, so that one I'm definitely looking forward to. I'd love to see Lovecraft.
Yeah,
I'd
as much Lovecraft
to see
stuff
them do
they
some
can do.
Lovecraft.
Because those manga, like all the drawings are so spot on, like so good.
And get the assholes and the art designers that work on freaking like Dark Souls and all that stuff, because they
Yeah.
already are cribbing a ton of stuff
From Lovecraft.
from
yeah.
Lovecraft and from The Thing and that kind of stuff. Like, get them on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's who I would want. Like, those kind of weird, creepy ass designs. How about you?
You know what I want more than anything else in the world? Mad Max v Fist of the North Star crossover.
Oh my god! I don't even know how that would work, but it would be great.
It'd be Fist of the North Star with awesome cars. That's what it would be.
But no, a Mad Max anime in general would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
don't
it
have
is
anything
just
against it.
like that same aesthetic that everybody uses, but I would still enjoy it.
And I love when they
And you
get,
could draw all the cars in autistic detail.
I love when they get creative with the adaptations. They do weird shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's something that
appreciate it.
they would literally do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've seen weirder shit.
James Bond,
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't do a good James Bond one.
right?
I mean,
'Cause,
they've got Duke Togo, but he's not really.
you got Duke Togo, you got like Lupin, you got they dance around it, but
they never like straight up.
straight up James Bond.
Oh, imagine if they
Cool.
adapted all the books like as they
Hell
are.
yeah!
And just said Negress less.
I would say Japan. It's Japan. They wouldn't care, and they would be just as racist as the original books were.
You just gotta learn to kind of ignore that stuff.
They would make his parents secretly Japanese, though.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yes, they would.
Because there's always a mystery about his parents anyway, so they'd be secretly Japanese.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty much anything sci-fi, tell you the truth.
There's
Like,
a ton of
I
stuff.
know people like that Expanse series, but I'd love to see Japan just take the Expanse, run with it. I would love to see them do a Warhammer show.
Oh yeah, they would do it proper.
They would do a really good job, I
It's
think.
right up their alley.
The
The Expanse is an interesting one because it has like
Forever War. That'd be an interesting
Yeah.
one. A real Starship Troopers one,
yeah.
I don't know. Pretty much anything sci-fi lends itself to anime anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
And Japan does a better job of space opera than pretty much everybody else. So
Yeah,
anything in
it's
that
a
vein.
shame, but they really do. Like,
the Moten God's Eye.
I'll
I'll throw one out there.
That's such a weird book too.
That would work.
That'd be a good one.
Then they could cut out some of the weird, or maybe intersperse better some of the weirdness.
Yeah,
Something like The Terror too. I think the TV show did a good enough job, so I'm not going to complain. And I
Yeah.
love that old timey sailing live action.
yes, definitely.
But books like that. Hyperion, they do a great job with that.
Yes,
So
definitely.
Sci-fi and dark fantasy, like the Black Company. They could do an awesome Black Company
That's true.
anime. So that's the kind of stuff I'd love to see them do because they're the only people I trust to freaking adapt anything anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of what I all boils down to. Like they always do a good job. There's not going to be any like weird shit.
Plus, well, or if it is, it's going to be interesting.
it's going to be
like,
fun with Japanese weird shit instead of shitty American weird shit.
Why is that guy in Mad Max 25 feet tall? Like, you obviously haven't seen Fist of the North Star. You don't understand.
He's a mutant. Shut up. Radiation.
Don't
blah,
worry
blah,
about
blah.
it. He was in the prison. He ate a lot.
Man, if that were true, like Japan would be filled with giants right now.
Pretty much.
No guy radiated harder than them. Just saying.
Yeah.
At any rate.
Anyway, that was a good wrap up.
It's on to the Immortal Classic. I know everything's Immortal Classic. I say it every time. But GENOCYBER is an Immortal Classic.
I got some things to say about GENOCYBER.
Well,
the
the
first episode.
That's an awesome way to structure it. Just have that first episode setup movie and then like have 4 episodes after that.
Yeah.
Of God knows what because I can't remember because I watched it 20 years ago.
Yeah, so this the thing with GENOCYBER is it is a very kind of simple plot and very like simplistic and loose writing that is just an excuse for ultraviolence and scenes of ultimate ultraviolence.
Not even titties. They don't have time for that.
No.
Just ultra violence.
Only the most violent shit you've ever seen. Like,
cutting people's faces open.
it makes MD Geist look tame.
It does really make MD Geist look tame.
I mean, body parts strewn about a room, like
Yes.
everywhere with innards.
Yeah, everything has like intestines out everywhere.
A woman's head just kind of separating itself from her shoulders.
That one's good. It's just like
for no reason.
doo.
There's a lot of weird psychic bullshit. Oh, a cyborg man clawing his own brains out.
That's a good one too. Yeah,
That was a good one.
there's a lot in there, man.
Freaky mecha that have wings somehow at the end, and then there's absorption, and I don't know.
Whatever.
So anyway, what the hell is this about? So you got there's a little mob psycho going on here, which is interesting. Just a little bit.
Yeah, 'cause
with the
it's like,
terror of psychic powers.
Yeah.
But you got 2 sisters, I guess. I mean, I don't know if they're blood sisters. I don't know if that was really clear, but
I think they actually are.
yeah, they probably are. But was it Lane and Diana?
Yeah.
And one of them's a mute, and she escapes from like the Psychic Institute, and she's got like mad powers. She's got all the powers.
All the powers.
And she's got a random mech that will show up and protect her at times when she's like super, I don't know, under pressure, I guess is the right word.
Yeah.
Weirded out, freaked out. And then you got the other one who is, I couldn't, like, is she in the mech suit? It looks like she's in the mech suit.
It's hard to tell with either of them are in the mech suit.
Or is she like just controlling it remotely and it's psychically linked? I can't tell. Right? There's a lot of weird psychic shenanigans going on there.
I think she's in it, but yeah, it is hard to tell.
But anyway, she's out there trying to stop her sister.
Oh no, you're right. Maybe she is just controlling.
I don't know.
Because they have that scene where they like strap her into the table and all that shit.
Yes.
But you never see her put on the armor, so maybe she's just controlling it.
I don't know.
Good call.
It looks like she's controlling it, but I don't really know that that's true or not. I don't. There's definitely a little bit of like mind's eye stuff because it is psychic bullshit going on, right? Because people have visions of bad stuff happening, like the visions of bugs in your head when you rip your brain out.
Oh yeah, like that's basically her jam. She just makes you hallucinate
Horrible things.
kind of like that chick in Dread, like the Dread.
Yes.
What's her face? Like I can't remember her name.
Anderson.
Yes,
Oscar
Anderson. She
Yep.
basically just like gets in your mind and makes you like freak out. But yeah, this chick does the same thing.
So
Makes that worse. She makes you like claw your literal brains out.
So that's going on. So the Institute's got the one sister trying to get the other sister back or kill her or eliminate her or whatever. They also sent out like these cyborg bounty hunters or psychopaths or whatever.
Yeah, they're just kind of crazy.
They're kind of crazy maniacs that are just remorseless murder machines.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They'll kill anybody.
And the mute girl just, happens across this kid who's bullied. He gets beat up all the time and ends up saving him. And then, they become friends and they're really close. And of course, that kid is just there to die. He like trips every death flag.
The mute girl like acts like an animal too. She's like never been like raised by humans.
She's a mute. She just kind of makes animal noises. Like,
yeah,
it's very strange.
she doesn't behave.
So you get the carnage of the two cyborgs chasing this girl across the city. You get the girl occasionally doing some psychic shenanigans, and then you get the climactic battle with the sister against sister fighting each other, and then the one sister, the mute girl, finally merging with her psychic robot.
Yeah, the mute girl merges with. I think she merges with the other sister's robot,
or it's the other sister.
To
whatever
make GENOCYBER.
It's it's her robot and her and everything. I don't know, whatever.
A bunch of light, like shit lights up, stuff explodes, blah blah blah.
Pretty much, and then there's the sad scene with, and there will be spoilers for the end of this episode. There's the sad scene where the kid's dead, and so it's so sad, and then the most hilarious ending text I've ever seen in an anime. Like, and on that day, like Hong Kong, like blew up and disappeared from the face of the earth, like
forever.
What? Okay, sure. I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, it's like an explosion in the background, and then they just have that text up on the screen. It's like okay, like that was fun. That escalated quickly.
I guess she's a primal animal, but I mean, I think you just killed a lot more very innocent kids by blowing up all of freaking Hong Kong.
She doesn't care about those kids.
Oh my God.
She only cares about that one kid.
So that should tell you a lot about the general state of GENOCYBER.
Just the first episode.
That's the first episode.
There's
45
4
minutes
more
long.
after this.
They're shorter. So the next 4 episodes in total are a little less than 2 hours. So we will probably just do the rest of the series next week.
Yeah, I think so.
This week we were a little pressed for time, so figured, hey, watch the first one. It ended so perfectly. We were going to watch the second episode. It's like, no, let's
I don't want to start another arc. I just want to leave it with Hong Kong getting wiped from the face
want
of the
these
earth
initial impressions, because it's freaking crazy, like some CCP wet dream.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, what did you like about GENOCYBER?
I just like man, you know me. I'm a simple animal. It's got like just that 90s awesome designs, super hyper violence, like loosey-goosey story. I don't really have to pay attention to it.
Might be the edgiest thing to come out of the damn 90s, and that's saying something.
I think I said that when we did the review of Zeo Rhymer. I'm like, this is probably the most edgelord thing in the 90s. I was wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong.
It's fucking GENOCYBER.
GENOCYBER has it beat.
Yeah, I can't think of anything more edgy than that. Because, like, Itchy the Killer and all that, like, super edgelord shit, that was into the 2000s.
Yeah, Elfin Lied and some of those other things are starting to bleed into the 2000s.
Yeah, Elfin Lied wasn't as edgy as GENOCYBER. I don't think
so. We'll see about the rest of the show, but
those
Jesus
vector
Christ.
things she had where she just cut people in pieces, that was pretty metal, but,
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like people clawing their own brains out, man.
Yeah, it's, like, way more graphic. Like, Elfin Lied, it was just, like, blood. But this is just, like...
And it was, like, little girls and stuff getting, like, exploded. It was kind of like Madoka Magica prototype.
Yeah, and it's got, like, very carefully drawn, like, organs and intestines and everything. It's, like, super, graphic.
Someone very much loved that.
Yeah, they got out their fucking anatomy book and went to town.
Yeah, they did.
But, like you said, super simple story. Like, it's, like... kind of sloppy where you can, like, if you're not really paying attention, you can misinterpret stuff. There's stuff where, like, I can't even tell exactly what's happening.
The animation
They'll probably
style
explain it later.
Does not fit the grittiness of the show.
Not really.
The animation style is very giant robo-y.
Yes.
It's got kind of more simplistic, classic kind of designs, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
And then it's full of hyper-violence. It's a little... I don't think it's
jarring,
bad.
yeah.
I think it's actually jarring in a good way. Like,
yeah, because you don't expect it, and then there's like these carefully drawn like organs everywhere.
And it draws more attention to how bad that violence is.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting now that you mention it. I never thought of that.
It doesn't have that same, because a lot of those shows like that were more gritty and they look gritty, right? And it doesn't look that gritty, but boy, do things escalate real fast.
Yeah, they do. I don't know how they'll top that first episode. Honestly, it's like savage.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's like one of my favorite design. Like, it reminds me of like Guyver, like the Guyver suit.
It's got a very similar kind of aesthetic going on,
with like
right?
the crazy. They're not horns, but they're just like pieces of its head.
There's a little bit of Devilman in there.
There's a little bit. There's a little bit of Devilman in all this.
You're not wrong. Like there's a lot of that classic. You're right. That kind of classic Japanese monster suit design.
Yeah, it's like very like tokusatsu kind of.
Yeah, there's definitely some tokusatsu.
Yeah, like
it's
got like
Zerum, a lot of Zerum kind of stuff going on.
You could definitely put it. You could definitely make it a rubber suit out of it pretty easy.
Oh yeah, it's clear that they make it with that in mind sometimes, and Maybe that's for cross merchandising. Maybe it's because they know they're going to make a goddamn stage play out of it because they make stage plays out of everything.
That's like the wildest fad. Like,
yeah, I skipped over a bunch of news today about the 18 different stage plays that are going on. Like, how does this thing have a stage play? Anyway.
If you can't see it here, there's no really point on reporting.
But yeah, GENOCYBER is. I heard it just got relicensed, so hopefully it'll come out again soon.
I would fucking love if they cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Because, of course it's streaming nowhere, so I had to fucking,
And it's like a 480p standard DVD.
I had to dig through, the dustbin of the internet to, find a copy of it, even just to do the review.
Yeah. It's
and,
not easy to track
it
down.
looks okay, but it looks kind of shitty.
It's perfectly watchable.
I would love a Blu-ray that's cleaned up.
It's not pixelated or bad or anything. It's just that it looks old. It is old.
It's one of those things like Zeorhymer where it's so classic that I would have to buy it just because... Even though it's ridiculous.
Yeah, more of these kind of semi-forgotten OVAs really need to be cleaned up and re-released. I'd love to see it.
Oh, God, yes.
But, is there any money in it? I don't know. I suppose as it becomes cheaper to clean these things up, maybe, but...
I think Zeorhymer. This and Zeorhymer would definitely sell.
I would hope so.
They were super huge back in the day. You know what I mean?
They were among those... known anime OVAs. They weren't on the tier of a Vampire Hunter D.
No, not at all. But
but they were that next tier down.
They were mid-tier classics.
You had heard of them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you hadn't seen them, you had heard of them. So, and they may be bigger in Japan. It seems every anime is giant in some random market, right?
Yeah.
They could be giant in Peru or something.
I remember meeting random nerds at conventions and shit, and they all knew GENOCYBER, they all knew Zeorhymer, just like those classics.
Oh yeah, everybody was devouring those classic OVAs back in the day because they were they actually look good, and you didn't have to buy a whole series. A lot of times they were the only thing available.
Oh yeah,
right, because the whole series weren't necessarily released, especially when you buy tapes.
A lot of them got brought over in the fucking VHS era, and it was it was $30 to $60 per half-hour episode for this shit. So, you could not get people to buy, Dragon Ball Z or something. It's a million episodes.
And even early DVD era.
So they would just crank out a 6-episode thing. They would make a fortune on it. And
early DVD era, too. You could get, okay, I could buy this OVA for, $60. And, it's got 5 episodes. And at least I get the whole thing. Or, okay, I got to buy this single volume with 3 episodes on it of some 26 episode show, and it cost $30 a volume.
I made $3.40 an hour back then.
Yeah, and you're buying it sight unseen.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, it's not like today where you could just I'll go download it and then I'll buy it.
It was like fucking Ninja Resurrection that they build as when you bought it, they made it look like it was a sequel to Ninja Scroll, and it was this weird piece of shit that had nothing to do with Ninja Scroll.
The Ninja Scroll series is far better.
And I bought it, and I'm just like, what in the fuck is this garbage? I want my, literally, $50 or $60
Where's
back.
Jubei, man? Why isn't he just slicing people in half?
What is going on here? This sucks.
At least the series has that. Even though the series isn't great, the series at least has standard
and Ninja
Ninja
Resurrection was, weirdly creepy, and I'm just like, oh, this is not good, man.
Cult leader Jesus shit going on.
Yeah, it's fuck off. More Ninja Scroll.
For every one of those, though, there was a Queen Bee, so...
Yeah, it's true.
The milk has gone bad.
Candida banana. Anyway, on that note, have a fantastic week, even though it's a long week next week. Back to regular bullshit.
Don't worry, it'll be Juneteenth soon. It's a real holiday now. That's what the government tells me.
Oh, yeah, it's Alphabet Month. Get your pride flag out, son.
Be like every corporation in existence and throw out the rainbow flag, unless you're in the Middle East. God, don't do that, because bad things will happen to you.
Anyway, catch you next time.
Peace. Well, that's all for today, everyone. We'd like to thank all of you for tuning into another episode of the Gaijin Animation Appreciation Hour. Please remember to like and subscribe, and may your entertainment be always, entertaining.